Hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. My name's Daniel and today I'm going to a bike race, a road race. It is 5 laps of the 6 Hills circuit down in, I think we're in Leicestershire actually. 46 or 47 miles in total. It should be about 2,500 feet. So not outright hilly, but also not flat. I'm just having a quick drive around on the circuit because I don't know it and I don't want the first time that I see the circuit to be at silly speeds on a bike. So I'm just having a quick drive around. The one hill on the circuit is a decent little hill. I'd say it's probably a minute to a minute and a half, maybe a little bit longer, and it worries me to be honest. However, the circuit's can be probably broken down into 2 halves. The first half is going to have a slight tailwind and it's like ever so slightly downhill for about 4 or 5 miles. You know, flat downhill. And the second half is uphill, flat with a slight headwind. So if anything, that's going to make it a little bit easier to stay on up the hills because of the headwind. But this hill that I've just come up now is too steep to be drafting. I'm thinking it's borderline little ring stuff. So I'm going to have to see how that goes on the first lap. I don't want to mess my gears up. And then the finish is probably a mile or so this way. So that hill, I think, will be the deciding factor. Who's in position, who's got the legs over the top of the hill to then keep pressing, because it then does just go down behind me. Then on to another lap. 5 laps, a bit more laps than I'm used to doing. Normally these road races are about 3 or 4, so yeah, look forward to getting stuck in. Just me today, nobody else from South Normanton. A couple of lads from Derby CC and Velo Bavarian, another local team, so I'll see those out. But in terms of teammates, I'm flying solo, but I don't think I could have been of much help to anybody today anyway, so I'm not feeling the best with a couple of crits in the legs yesterday, but we'll see what we can do. As is always the case, this sort of thing, gone from having loads of time to now not having much time. About 15 minutes before we sort of form up and then start. Bike is ready, 1 bottle, cameras front and rear, ready to rock and roll. Somebody's left a pink child's bike down here.
When you're carrying it,
Have I just interrupted something?
Yeah.
Has Paul ridden really, really well today?
Average.
How was it, boys?
Yeah, horrific.
It was alright. Finish was a bit edgy, lots of time bombs, as Ken Dog calls them.
What does that mean, people going too hard and blowing up?
Yeah, there was a big surge down the right, wasn't there, before the climb at the end. And
yeah, I saw that as I was
in the gutter on the left, and yeah, I've had to go too hard up that climb. Really.
I did think that your positioning wasn't great, but what can you do?
It wasn't, mate, I'll say that.
Need some lessons off winner, doesn't he?
That's it, mate.
It's easiest if you just start half a lap.
And yeah, the finish was probably just a bit harder than I wanted it to be, but snaffled the top 10 anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Good. Bernard said he didn't see you.
Well,
he said, where's that joker? Was it a one and done?
I know, well, wish I'd have been up there with him when he went off the front, but there we go.
He just said to me, this Bernard Galere, he's been and recce'd the course midweek, and then now he said, I just didn't realise how far it was to the finish line from the hill. I said, you've been around it 4 times and you've recce'd it this week, what's your problem? But there you go. Anyway, good work, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
Going out for a race, wasn't it?
Did he get swamped?
Oh, zoom out. You guys might remember this guy, Luke from Velo Bavarian. Luke, you're in the race today. Before we talk about your race, I just want to point out that you're in carbon-plated shoes for social.
They're not carbon.
They are the composite. They're the Tempo Next Percents.
I don't know, I don't run. I swear.
How was your race today?
Yeah, it was really good fun. It's good fun. It's quite a nice course, to be fair. It was quite flowy, you could sit in a bit. Yeah. A couple of kickers, so nothing too hard.
Yeah. There was like 1 decent climb on the lap, but it was like a minute or less, wasn't it? So
yeah,
I was flat out a couple of times getting up it, but on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th lap, it gradually got easier to stay in on the climb. People, I think, were fatiguing a bit, weren't they?
I just sag climbed it every time.
Yeah,
it was fine.
That's the thing. You've got to try and get up the climb in the group, but you can lose places because you're still in the group, and that means you're saving that energy, doesn't it?
And then you just over the top because it's downhill. You're fine, aren't you? You just sit on the back and recover. So it's good.
Good stuff. So you reckon you just inside top 10?
Yeah. I didn't think the finish suited me, but in the end it sort of did because it was really fast into the very short little kicker at the end. So could have probably done a bit better, but yeah, I'm pleased to get top 10.
Good. Well, I think when you race a course the first time, you're always going to race it better the next time, aren't you? Because you know
definitely.
It's all right when I go driving around it or riding around it, but until you've raced it,
I didn't even really ride it, so yeah.
Well, Bernard came and wrecked it this week and still forgot where the finish line was, didn't he?
Say that again.
You came and wrecked it this week and still forgot where the finish line was, didn't you? 4th today.
I got caught on the line.
Oh yeah, I saw it, Jed late.
I got caught on the line as well by about 50th place.
Yeah, but you won yesterday and I won today in the one-on-one, so it doesn't count, but
I wasn't going to mention
it's not quite as impressive, but I've just done a spoiler for the previous video.
No, I've probably mentioned it about 10 times up to this point.
Yeah. Alright, fair enough.
Good racing. No, well, thanks, we're going to get a Mars bar. Back home now. Thank you very much to Leicester Road Club for organising the Owen Memorial Race. There is a women's race in the afternoon, which is a National B, I think, so it's an Elite 1, 2, 3. This morning was just a 3, 4. I put the stats on screen, about 1 hour and 41 minutes, average speed of 20, I can't actually see it here. This works better if I see it, doesn't it? 26.3 miles an hour, just under 2,000 feet of climbing. I normalised 318 watts. There's a fairly big kick on each lap to get up that hill, and I felt bad to start, and my legs felt tired. I felt a little bit like I had no kick, but then I thought, right, what can I control? And I can control fueling and pacing within reason. So fueling, in the first 30 minutes, I had 2 40-gram gels. I thought it's a waste of time them being in my pocket. I might as well get them down me. I don't want my performance to be, think, oh, was it nutrition, was it not? Just get it down me, and then I know if I don't perform, it's just the legs. And then I sat in for about 2 laps on the back, and it wasn't that easy, but there were definitely times where I was watching a tax cut the road and a break went for 2 or 3 laps, and obviously I wasn't involved in it. And I thought, right, this is really setting me up for a stronger last 2 laps. And in the last 2 laps I was a lot more active on the front and attacking a couple of times, and it didn't really come to anything substantial, but I felt a lot better and I felt like I was relevant and I felt like I was in the race. It all came back together, and then we turn maybe the last corner, and then there's probably about a kilometre before the climb and then a kilometre to the finish. I was positioned okay, but as everybody just pushed on towards the climb, I just slipped back a little bit through the group and ended up towards the back. And I'm never going to be at the front of I bet it was 10% for maybe 30, 40 seconds or so. I'm never going to be at the front of that sort of thing. So I just slipped back through the group and then just rolled in over the line, to be honest. And but I'd done, I'd had my job. I tried to get away on the last lap as best I can, and it didn't happen. So that's the way I win races, and I will not be there at the minute on a kick finish uphill. But that's maybe something I'm definitely going to work on, so we'll see how that goes. Good day out, good day's training. I am debating going for a run later on today, but I will see how I go. I'm going to end this video here. I'll probably do some sort of onboard debrief and talk through some parts of the race. There's not a great deal for me to talk about because I was on the back for a lot of it, but that is part of the race, isn't it? So maybe I will talk a little bit about that. Thanks very much for watching. Well done if you raced today. I think I've got one more bike race in this little bike racing block before I fully focus on this triathlon thing, but I'm just having fun. Thanks very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock for, I wonder if tomorrow might be Road to Roth, or maybe that's already gone out. I don't really know. My upload schedule's a mess. This afternoon I'm spending some time on videos. See you later.